everybody, welcome to the Department of Comics. I'm your humble host, Agent DeCamp. Happy to see you here. And today, instead of just showing random books that I have, I thought I'd do another little thing that I've seen being done in the past throughout the comic book community. I'm going to do a little community challenge slash tag type thing. What I want to do is I want to show my actually it's my main pride and joy in my collection, but then I'm also going to have a runner-up. So I'll be tagging somebody in this near the end, and then hopefully they'll see the video, and then they'll put up their own video and tag somebody else and keep on going. I've seen that done before. I thought it was pretty cool. So we're going to start off with my runner-up. My runner-up for my collection is this book right here. Marvel 2-in-1, number 50, The Thing Battles the Thing. Beautiful George Perez, Joe Sinnott cover. Okay? And this came out in 1979. I bought this off the rack. And it has a great story in it. It's where Reed discovers that he can have a cure for Ben, but it was only in Ben's original form, not his current form. So Ben takes it upon himself to go back in time using Doom's time platform. And he goes back and meets himself. And they have a fight, and of course the newer thing is the stronger one. He actually wins, and he pours the stuff down. Well, here's the deciding blow where he wins. Beautiful John Byrne art by inks by Joe Sinnott. And he pours it down his throat, and he changes back to Ben Grimm. And then he goes back into the future, and he's like, what gives? No, he just created another timeline. Now, issue 100 of Marvel 2-in-1, which I didn't bring with me, which I probably should have, has a continuation of this story, 50 issues later, where Ben not being the Thing caused a whole bunch of bad stuff to happen to the Earth. Actually, I believe it was Galactus was able to devour the energy of the Earth. Okay, this story was written by John Byrne as well. Okay, Jim Novak was the letterer. It says F. Mooley was the colorist. I'm not sure who that is. And Roger Stern was the editor. And Jim Shooter, of course, was the editor-in-chief. A lot of people didn't like Jim Shooter. I just think a lot of the stuff during his tenure that came out was fantastic. But the reason why this book is one of my pride and joys, even though it's the runner-up, right here, in 1984, it was signed by both Joe Sinnott and John Byrne on the first page. I might have told this story before on this channel before that, in 84, I was, 14? No, 17 years old when I met him. And it was at a small show in a hotel, and there was a line of creators there. And when I handed a stack of books to John Byrne, he signed every one of them without a problem, with a smile. He was nice. People say he's always grumpy at shows. I even mentioned to him on his forums, like, hey, you weren't grumpy to me. He's like, you caught me on a good day. But when he came to this book, he was like, oh my God, I love this book. I love this story. And he leaned forward and said, hey, Joe, to Joe Sinnott down the row. He goes, you remember this book? And Joe's like, yeah, I love that book. So I got them both to sign it that day, and that's my happy memory for that. Okay, so now we come to my actual number one pride and joy. Like I said, this is the runner-up. This was the number one for a long time. Okay, the number one I have, okay, it starts with this. This is the golden record for Fantastic Four number one. Okay, it's not in the greatest shape. You know, it's got splits. The record plays without a skip. It's excellent. And here's the book right here. And if you notice right underneath the 4 in Fantastic Four, it's autographed by Stan Lee. And I got this at MegaCon in 2011. Okay, I even have their certificate of authenticity for it. Okay, I have the 2 wristbands I had to have. I had to have one for Stan Lee and then one for the convention. Okay, and you're saying, well, that's a nice pride and joy to have, but it's just a golden record reprint, right? Well, to make it even better, when I bought this off of eBay, and I'm sorry, I laminated these 2 pages I'm going to show you next, but the laminator wasn't working when I sent them both through, so I got wrinkles in them. Ticked me off. But this is the original eBay page saying I won the thing. I got it for $255, the book and record. And you're probably like, $255? And that was back in 2010. Okay, and you're like, oh, that wasn't worth that much back then. But there's a reason why. Okay, the seller was J. Kirby Comics 2 at the time. And who J. Kirby Comics 2 is Jack Kirby's grandson, Jeremy. And he has on here, you're bidding on an extremely rare Marvel Golden Record from 1966. This item includes the album container, album, and reprint of Fantastic Four #1 in great condition. The comic book and record have not seen the light of day for years until I took their photos this week. The comic book and record, sorry, that part. I have never played the record, but it looks to have no defects, which it doesn't. The comic book is in amazing condition except for a small tear in the upper left-hand corner. True. Please feel free to ask any questions. This item was in the famous Kirby closet for years and can now be yours. That was Jack Kirby's copy. And he even gave me a letter, which unfortunately has the wrinkle from the thing, from Jeremy Kirby, Jack Kirby Stationery, Captain America down here. And it says, I attest that this Fantastic Four Golden Record was owned by Jack Kirby and came from his personal collection. And the funny thing is, he even misspelled own. He has O-W-E-N-D. Owend. Now, Jack Kirby's still selling stuff from his grandfather's collection. I mean, you can find them online. I haven't seen them on eBay. But I thought that was really cool. And it could be fake for all I know. I never know. It could be somebody else posing as Jeremy Kirby. Don't know. But I feel happy that as far as I'm concerned, this was owned by Jack Kirby. And then it was signed by Stan Lee. Okay? And that is my pride and joy. So I think the one I'm going to tag in this one is going to be Brian LCS. Brian loves collecting Spidey. And I'm going to tag him in this, and we're going to see what happens. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you haven't already. And until next time, keep reading those comics. Oh, and also I'm going to have a list of other channels I like to watch in the description as well. Can't forget to do that. So thanks again, and keep reading those comics.